Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Jones, and my research proposal is on Teaching on Empty, finding the source, cure, and prevention of teacher burnout and stress. The main reason why I picked this topic is because I've noticed a lot of my coworkers experiencing teacher burnout and stress, and I really wanted to research this topic not only looking at my school site, but also looking at the district that I work in. So upon research, identifying the importance of teacher burnout, one, it affects a teacher's well-being, but it also affects the instruction that they give along with student learning. Along with high levels of burnout also comes high teacher attrition and a weak school climate. With that being said, the purpose of this research project is to identify the causes, prevention strategies, and roles of teachers' wellness in a school setting. In this case, we'll be looking specifically at Sanger Unified. So for research questions, this study will be a mixed methods approach looking at quantitative and qualitative methods. The focus will be predictors of burnout at Sanger Unified amongst K-12 teachers, the relationship between school climate and teacher burnout, and teacher well-being predicting the outlook of a school's climate. Looking at the quantitative methods, my research questions are, what are the primary predictors of teacher burnout among K-12 teachers in Sanger Unified? How does school climate relate to the levels of teacher burnout? And to what extent does teacher well-being predict teachers' overall perception of school climate? Looking into the qualitative research here, we will be conducting interviews which will prompt our participants to answer these questions. How would you, being the participant, describe the main causes of burnout at your school? And what prevention strategies do you believe would help? There are 6 key terms and definitions that are highly utilized within the research that I conducted along with my research proposal. Looking specifically at burnout, there are 3 factors: emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and personal accomplishment. And the formal version or definition of burnout is defined as a psychological syndrome that includes emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and reduced personal accomplishment. Based on research, conducting research was really helpful in building up my understanding of teacher burnout and stress, and I was able to access Fresno State's databases along with Google Scholar to be able to research topics such as burnout dimensions, school climate, workload, looking at that as a majority of a predictor, looking at wellness and social intelligence as preventative factors, and then looking at SEC, which is social emotional competence, and SEL, social emotional learning, and mindfulness interventions. My research design is a mixed methods design. The site that I will be conducting this in is within Sanger Unified. I didn't just want to do my school, I wanted to expand it to my school district. We have 14 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 2 high schools. With that, our population would be all certified K-12 educators. This is teachers who work in the classroom, PE, music teachers, and teachers who are on special assignments, which we call TOSAs. For sampling, this will be a non-probability purposive sampling. The instruments and data collection that I'll be using for quantitative methods is an adaptation of Maslow's Burnout Inventory Educator Survey, along with the 5-factor wellness inventory. We'll also be bringing in questions within the survey regarding school climate and coping items such as administrative support, collaboration, boundaries, and professional development. For qualitative methods, we'll be taking a semi-structured interview with open-ended questions, really giving our participants an opportunity to dive into the causes and prevention strategies that they think would be best. And then we'll be collecting this data through online surveys and then also looking at the in-person or video secure interviews. Implications and limitations. So for implications, looking at informing Sanger Unified for supports for teacher wellness, strengthening school climate and student outcomes, and also addressing the equity within high-need schools. Our school site specifically not only educates general education students, but also students who are on IEPs for SDC courses or special day classes as well. For limitations, within this research, being that our surveys are self-reported, can bring about response biasness, and then also that this is within just one school district. These are a few of the references that I was able to collect based off of my research that really helped with my understanding of teacher burnout and stress and assisting with this research project. Looking at integration, so through this process, I've had an opportunity to dive deeper into problems that educators are experiencing firsthand. And I think it's been a really interesting process to see how we can bring about change for improvement. And then lastly, looking further into research methods and studies to really help me as a researcher and other researchers on their investigations. Thank you so much.